This video is brought to you by North Berkeley Wine, importer and retailer of distinctive French and Italian wine. Visit them at northberkeleyimports.com. We're here with Craig Roemer, vineyard manager and winemaker. Craig, thanks for joining us.
No sweat. I'm here to give you guys a nice educational tour. Now, Schramsberg was originally founded in the 1860s by a gentleman by the name of Jacob Schram, who was an immigrant from Germany. He came here and he brought his heritage to the Napa Valley. He ran the winery in the 1860s all the way up to Depression. And then once Depression came around, the winery became a ghost winery. In 1965, Jack and Jamie Davies thought nobody is making a sparkling wine or a champagne-style wine from Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. Most of these caves were actually dug in the 1860s. The first 3 caves that we walked through were actually hand dug by Chinese laborers. You can still see the pick marks in the cave here from when this was dug out by pick and shovel. The material that the cave is made up of is basically volcanic ash, and you can just peel the stuff away right from the wall. And basically this volcanic ash holds water very well. It's like a sponge. In the 70s, we brought in a caving engineer, and we bored most of the caves with machine thereafter. We have about 43,000 square feet of caves here, and in inventory we have about 2.2 to 2.4 million bottles. The bottles are laying flat in various places throughout the winery. And if I hold this bottle up to the light, you'll see exactly what we've got going here in each bottle. Well, basically all of that material that's laying on the side is settled out yeast from the secondary fermentation. And then we'll start the riddling process. And the riddling process is a series of turns in this rack that mass the yeast together and get it into a pile. And then we'll slowly migrate that mass towards the neck of the bottle. And it'll all finish up here in the neck of the bottle and be clean, crisp, bright, clean wine. It'll pretty much start off as horizontal in the rack. The top of the bottle, the way it is in the stack, is also the way it is in the riddling rack. And then if I turn the bottle around, there's also a starting point for riddling at the base.
How many bottles do you think you can do a minute?
Well, there is about maybe 200, something like
200 a minute?
Yep.
No, there's no way that's possible. Come on.
Well, I can show you.
Well, I want to see that.
When we have 7,000 bottles, I do that in 55 minutes. You guys can divide. The real thing is this. Let me show you. More or less.
Woo. Man.
And also, when you warm up, you can go a little faster also.
If I hold this one up to the light, you should be able to see no sediment on the side as well. You can see the sediment right here.
Yeah, all down in the capsule. It's clear.
So we're putting on safety glasses here. Why are we putting on safety glasses?
Well, because the wine is sparkling, has bubbles in it, it's under pressure, and occasionally the bottle let go. It's primarily for the safety of your eyes. Well, this is an on-point product. This is the 2004 Brut Rosé, and they're brought from the cage here right into the neck freezer. And in the neck freezer, the bottle will be put neck down and will literally freeze a portion of the yeast or suspend it right into ice here. So you can just see the ice plug that's developing. I can turn this wine around and you can see that the yeast is suspended in an ice plug.
That's awesome.
It's clear wine behind. That's the trick to disgorging the product. Again, as I said, when we started this, the ice plug would become bigger. This just ensures that any yeast tails that remain on the end of after the riddling is done is suspended in yeast. So we'll have a little bit of loss. This is just wine frozen out of solution here. We're going to run the machine now. Bottles migrate forward. The arm will go down. Grab the bottles, invert them. It'll come to a stall point to allow the glycol to drip off. onto the line. Line will kick into gear, rolls around, goes through the tunnel here, wash the glycol off in the hood, rolls right onto the disgorging line. The first position will be the crown cap is going to come off. So as it grabs the bottle, it'll pinch the bottle and it'll slowly tilt the bottle up. Crown should come off now. Crown comes off, falls into the bucket. The yeast is out of solution. The next machine on the other side will extract a small volume off. It'll rotate around one time. It'll come back onto another star wheel, have a little bit of dosage added to it. So the wine's coming down here. It's got its dosage. It's been topped up to 750 mils, and it's getting its cork inserted into it. And the cork is the key to keeping the CO2 in the bottle. This is the type of cork that's actually driven into the bottle. The bottles behind you there are receiving this same cork. And what's happening is the lower portion of it, probably the lower half an inch or inch of the cork, is being compressed about the size of your little finger. And it's being compressed down, driven into the bottle, and then that's expanding out over a period of time. And basically the wire hood is a contraption that holds the cork in place over the finish of the bottle. And if I pick up a bottle here, you see that the anatomy of the bottle, you have the body, the neck, and then there's this area that's called the finish. And the wire hood wraps around the finish and it comes over the cork, and the legs of the wire hood hold the cork in the bottle. A little known trait that everybody should know, on the wire hood, it's 6 1/8 half turns to open up the wine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and an 1/8 half turn to open it up. Industry standard. This machine behind us here is basically mixing the dosage into solution. And if you can see the bottom of the bottle here is a little bit darker, and as I lift the bottle up to the side, you can see the dosage sort of wisp itself down and into solution. You can see the waves of the sugar in there. So basically I'm going to take you guys through a technique that our friend Napoleon brought to fruition. It's removing the cork or the closure of this sparkling wine without necessarily pulling the cork out by hand. I'm going to use this lovely little thing here that we call a saber. I'm going to remove most of the package here. Without further ado, a 1, 2, 3.